the heat hazing in the distance there, getting that effect. Great graphics from Cody's as we got 3, 4, 5 lights. Lights out, away we go. Looks like Mark got away quite well from second place, trying to get up alongside Killer Blues. Round into the walls, Jacob. Jacob comes across and does a massive accident down the straight. And how did they?
Cookie Games is involved in that.
Cookie Games has been caught up. That's huge for the championship, and to no surprise, got a VSC. I can't believe it's not a full safety car after the patch. Expect quite a
safety car is away, and fighting up ahead at the grid, and Magnus had a really bad start, losing 2 positions there.
Well, yeah, I think he tried to have a go at Killer and then just lost out, and Super Gamer took advantage of that.
Mark actually jumped Killer Blue off the start.
Oh wow, okay. As down the inside goes Gary Donegan having a look at Mark, but it's actually Dylan that's going around the outside. Better contact there, down there, and Gary does not want to give up this place, but the side by side through 11 almost coming together into 12, and Dylan has to get out of that. Gary not taking any prisoners there. This battling is good for those soft runners to try and pull away. Got yellows in sector 3. I can see a car off there, V5. So V5 dropping there. It's been a nightmare start for a number of drivers. Further up the grid, Mark now looking for P2 down the inside of Super Gamer. Does he make that one sight? There's a Mercedes off, I think it's Boy Road, through the second sector, and Super Gamer has to yield. He loses out. Nico past Adrian on the straight there. He's past that hard runner. Now he's got to try and get a move on there.
Is he gonna follow Mark on that strategy or Super Gamer? Let's see. What tires is he on? He's on to mediums.
Yeah, so he follows his teammate as Carmentals pulls to the inside of Dylan and is comfortably past. I don't think Dylan was going to fight that against his teammate. Still, Harry keeps YYY behind, and he's really in a good position here, Harry, I have to say.
Well, hopefully we can see a repeat of China where Harry and Gary went wheel to wheel multiple times.
Carmentalist made a mistake coming off the final chicane. Oh, a lot of lag actually. He's just gone further up the road. So, oh, and now he's just in front of what is going on. He's
I recognize this.
Yeah. Hashtag relatable. But yeah, Carmentalist, oh, he's still jumping about crazily for me. Oh, I hope this isn't putting off the guys, because on my screen, Harry is now just pulled alongside him inside of turn 4. Does he make that one stick? Carmentalist is way wide, and he's giving up places there. YHYY is through. He's onto the grass on the exit there. And no, YHYY is not through. Oh my god, this is... I'm sorry if this is ruining the this stream a little bit, but it's pretty difficult to commentate over this. So, yeah, excuse us here, but yeah, Carmentalist, I think, is definitely down to P4. Hopefully that lag sorts itself out, because we really don't want to see, a car jumping about and being a distraction for us as well as the drivers out there.
As Cookie Games gets a penalty, and his race only goes from bad to worse for now. And he really needs a miracle. And a miracle called the safety car to get back up.
I recognise that Carmentalist now has damage on his end plate, and he's really holding up YHYY, who's lost touch with Harry actually after
Gary,
do we have pit stops? As is YHYY. Yeah, most of the front runners and Dylan really the only one staying out there. And we'll see if Gary, we'll see if Gary's actually able to get out of the pits okay, because there's a lot of cars here. We'll see. Watching the racing point, puts on the hard. He gets away.
That's fine.
It was a bit unsafe actually. Just came out in front of Carmentalist, who I did mention he had that damage. Getting that wing change, and the Ferraris are well clear. So Killer Blue still technically with the net lead. I think I agree with you there. Nico comes into the pit lane. He might actually be behind him. No, he's got on the throttle now. He might be in this group actually, as Cookie Games is out.
A virtual safety car.
VSC. Nico benefits hugely from that. Look where he is now. He's in front of Dan to get that move done as Harry finally pits. So the Renault is in. Where does he come out? Of course, he's got that penalty now, which is going to hold him back. Gets stopped for the pit lane nicely. Where is he going to come out relative to Nico and those cars behind?
I think it's going to be around Nico actually. I think between Nico and Dan might be the one, as Killer is into the pits as well. They'll be looking for a new set of mediums then. Let's see. Harry just come around. Let's see where Nico is. He's coming out of the pits now as Gary making a move on Mark.
Oh, and Gary almost spins. Oh, good save from Gary, but he's lost a lot of time. Dylan now beginning to close in, and Harry, amazingly, look where Harry is.
Yeah, he's just come out right behind Dylan actually. So the pits lane is actually not 22, but more like say 18 seconds.
Of course, if Mark pits, it is going to give Gary that DRS down the main straight, and that's exactly what happens. Gary is now released and gap him. He needs to gap Dylan because Harry is on the charge, and he's already looking to get back Dylan. Let's see what happens there. Which way does he go, inside or outside? Dylan defends to the inside goes Harry though, and he's clear him on the straight. Harry Noari in the P2, and the win is in his sights. He's got so much time to get this done, but if he's able to do
remember, Harry does have a penalty.
That's true.
And if Gary has got that pace at some points to stick in the DRS of Harry, he might just be able to just stick behind him and get to win like that. But of course, I think Gary wants to do it pretty and just let Harry stay behind.
Harry had a better exit coming off the chicane. Let's see, Gary immediately moves defensive there and back to the other side, waving about, trying to break that slipstream. Harry's not having any of it, closing in now to the outside of turn 1. Does the Renault go through? Gary doesn't give it up, around the outside, late braking. Harry Noir takes the leader, does he? Gary's almost round. Gary has to save his slide. Does Dylan go up into P2? And this has freed up Harry now. He's almost 3 seconds clear already. A mistake from Gary on over the curb of turn 2. And now with Dylan behind him, Harry can get that 3-second gap with ease now. He's in the driving position here.
So both the Ferraris looking for... And it's a safety car because Callum has retired from the session. This could change everything. This is not in the benefits of Harry here.
Yeah, why comes into the pits. Of course, there's a real debate for these guys now. I reckon if I were Killer Blue, given the gap he's got to Mark, he's got a real slot to try and come into the pits here. So yeah, real this race. Who decides to bite the bullet and go in, take a risk, sacrificing track position potentially,
let's see,
but also giving yourself the tyre advantage? Harry from the lead, probably got the most difficult decisions to make. He goes into the pits, that's brave, and so as does Gary, and Dylan follows him in. Does anyone try and stick it out?
Nico is going in as well. Yeah, Dan is going in as well.
I think everyone's going to go in here. So we've got near enough a complete reset. 6-lap shootout indeed, as Harry is almost coming to a stop. He's going 35 kilometers an hour, which is almost ridiculously slow then. As there's been a massive hold up behind. I don't know what's going on here then.
V5 having a collision with Rick. I don't know what that's about, but
I just saw there was a massive gap. As Mark's running wide through, he's letting. I think he's trying to let Andrew through. It's been an absolute mess here. So anyway, back towards the front.
Harry is going now,
gets it
out
underway, bit of oversteer. He gets away nicely. No, he needs to get out DRS and he needs to hope that Gary gets held up, but neither of those things seem to be happening so far. That gap between 6th and 7th really opens out there, as there was a bit of confusion further back. Super Gamer to the outside of Adri, looking to turn 1. He gets his nose ahead onto the brakes. Who brakes later? It is Adri on the inside there. Gets a bit out of the shape though, but he's able to hold it together and keep that 7th place. Now Mark is chasing behind as well. Let's look further up the grid there. We got cars running in formation. Still Harry holds that lead, but of course Gary just has to try and keep it on track. He knows what he needs to do there. Dylan is still a threat. Dylan looking at a very strong result here, and Dan also with a potential podium, but Nico's going to look to do something about that and put pressure on the Mercedes man. That's going to be one thing to look forward to, as these cars are running very close. Not much action going down there. Might have to wait for a little bit before the real racing starts taking place.
Anyways, Gary looking close, and Dylan has actually caught up again. So Maledictus, I think, has disconnected from the session.
Dylan, wait, what?
I think.
Oh no. Yeah, so Dylan goes ghosting. Yeah, there's been a huge disconnection.
The three cars disconnected, 4 even, and
yeah, it looks like it's going to stay at 4. But oh, that's absolutely awful to see.
So I think it's pretty much a podium place settled for Harry unless he gets another penalty.
Or gets in an instant here, as Gary very, very close. Let's see what he's able to do. He's got the DRS over. He's on overtake. He's going for it. Gary is going for it. High risk stuff to the outside of turn 1. He wants to do this on track. Gets his nose ahead. Does he get it done on the brakes? Harry still sticking it down the inside. Almost gets spun, and I think he realised he had to get out of that. Gary is well quite cautious on the exit. Now all he has to do is get this one done. Just keep it on track. Keep it steady. and he will have his second win of the season, and I believe the championship lead. I think the gap to the Cookie stands at, is it 12 points between them? I'm not...
Something like that. I think it's 12 indeed.
Having been put under a lot of pressure in this race, he has came through it all, as long as he just keeps it nice and cleanly. Round the final corner, Gary Donegan with yet another win in D2 across the line, and Dan is going to jump up to second, and looks like Nico is going to stay fourth from Dylan, who was so unlucky. He could have even been fighting for the lead if it wasn't for that disconnection, as Mark ends up getting 7th, Adri loses places on penalties. Matty G rounds out the top 10 from McCrew and Maledictus. V5 over the line from Rick and Killer Blue. So some very experienced drivers near the back.